Now I want you to ask yourself, and this is something I work with my clients all the time, and an analogy I use is, how would you hunt differently if the deer actually had guns? And they were going to shoot back. Obviously, that's not going to happen, let's hope. But the bottom line is, I want you to think about how you would hunt differently. For example, we have a stand location over my shoulder right here. It's one of our favorite stand locations, and it's one that we can get in and out without spooking deer. And so I thought it was a great example for this. For one, where we access through a horse pasture over here. And while we're not saying the horses have guns, so we're not worrying about that, but the deer, if they had guns, they're not out in that horse pasture in the daylight when we move in and out, and they're not out there during the night. We can slip back out of the stand location too. They're all out here into the food sources and then going over the ag fields. And so by position, getting in and out of that stand location, we don't have to worry about spooking deer. Therefore, if deer had guns, we wouldn't be getting shot, getting in and out of the stand. Now that stand is dead quiet. Dead quiet. It's not going to spook a deer out here, even if it's 30 yards away, getting in and out. We use family tradition stands. They're high quality stands. They don't squeak, ping, make noises getting in and out, and they don't make noises while we're sitting there. So by noise, we're not going to alert any deer that are out here. When we're climbing up that tree, it's a 36, 40-inch diameter oak tree. We can get in and out of that tree. We have cover around us, side cover, where we can get in and out of that tree without spooking deer, again, not getting shot. Literally, I want you to think about this. When we're getting out of that stand, we're not getting shot. When we're getting into the stand, we're behind this bank of earth, this ridge system right here, where deer can't see us up into the woods. So we're getting in and out of that stand without spooking deer. We're not making any noise, getting up or down out of that stand. We're not making noise when we're in the stand. We're completely hidden when we're in the stand because we don't move. If you have to move all around to get a shot, if you have to move from this side of the tree and face over to this side of the tree, if you have to turn around and try to shoot, those are all movements in a tree the deer can pick out, especially a wily old mature buck. He doesn't like movement in that tree. Are using an ATV to access the land, for example. If we're just driving out here to the stand, we're alerting every deer within a quarter mile, half mile that we're coming to the stand location. And I know that for a fact because I hunted the other property next to this property for 12 years, and we benefited from the hunters on this land using their ATV and literally clearing out every deer except for maybe a young button buck or something off this land and past our stand locations 200 to 400 yards away. And so every time they access this land with a tractor, with an ATV, with a side-by-side little John Deere Gator they spooked off all the deer here, pushed them onto the land we used to hunt, and we greatly benefited from that by seeing herds of deer go by us every time they came on. At the same time, if the deer had guns, they would have known they were coming. And yeah, maybe it's a silly analogy, but I think it's very important. If you design how your habitats move through the property, how your habitat improvements, so that you can get on and off without getting into those improvements and spooking the deer at the timing that they're using them. If you hunt on public land, how much noise are you making getting into your stand? How much scent are you leaving at the bottom of the tree that they can pick up after you are there and know that you're coming in the next day, that you're going to be there, and they'll just stay away? How much scent are you leaving at the bottom of the stand, getting into the stand and changing and everything else? How much noise are you making climbing up the tree? How much noise are you making it when you go back a mile on public land and you're cruising back to your favorite stand location? How can you get in and out of your stand without spooking deer? Are you going to a big bowl where it's like an arena and the deer are all watching you come in? Or are you going behind the ridges on either side and getting in a stand location so you're using the lay of the land to get in and out? Do you have screening around your food plots? Do you have screening around your bedding areas? Do you have screening along your wood edges? All those different layers to allow you to get in and out without spooking deer. You have to get on and off your property as if the deer had guns and they're going to fire back. And I know a lot of you are saying, well, I just want to hunt if the deer had guns. Well, obviously, maybe it'd make it more fun. I really don't know. But the bottom line is that you have to hunt as if they did. And I think if you thought in those measures, that you would change a lot about how you hunt, how you access public land, how you access private land, how you build improvements on private land, how you get in and out of your stands, the noise you make, the scent you leave behind. Think about it. Think of the deer as the enemy. You don't want them to know you're getting on and off the land. That's the way a giant cat can move through this property. They'd go through here like a predator. No deer would ever know they're coming unless they were just at that moment of attack. they could slip through here without making a sound, leaving any scent behind. And no, us clumsy humans aren't going to be like that. But we can make a lot of decisions, and I think dozens of decisions sometimes differently as it relates to not spooking deer and not letting them know you're there on the land. This hunting season, the planning starts now in the off season. Make sure you don't make those bad decisions when you're going on the land this fall. Try to move like a predator on the land, try not to spook deer. And hey, if the deer had guns, I think a lot of you would hunt a lot differently this fall, and that's a good thing. Think about those choices. It'll lead you to a high level of spook-free whitetail success.